Hello and welcome again. Um, I'm going to be talking about um, a few subjects here. So, this is day 41. Guinness, elephant, cash. And sorry for those youngsters, but in brackets I'll say bastards. So, anyway, I've it's been a while actually since my last podcast. Um, but it's taken me a while. I'll let you know what happened. Anyway, I've pulled everyone in now on false sense of security. Uh, sorry, quickly, don't go anywhere. They say they're all saying, "Oh no, it's a trap. He's got us now." Well, it's too late. You're in the spider's sticky web now, so you might as well listen to me. I promise you won't be disappointed. On a serious note, I have some categories I would cover in this podcast. You may think, what can this be? How do they all link with each other? Amazing! This guy is a genius. Well, I'm not going to link. I'm not going to link them all up. I will be linking them up with other things. What they mean, I'll reveal that soon. So, my last uh, episode was day 40. And if you listen to that, it was only for a limited time only. It was only on the, it was the only limited time. It was about my insomnia, basically. It got quite deep and dark, but I've on YouTube it's set as private now because I thought it was a little bit too deep. I may release it, but anyway, I did this podcast, called it Day 41 because that one was called Day 40. So I've lured you in, but I came up with this idea so that just like the superstores do, basically, when they say buy one get one free. And let me tell you, I'm going to say a few random things as well, but you just need to bear with me. And as I said, I've lured you in, just like the superstores say, buy one, get one free. Come and have a look. But I tell you, nothing is free in this world, unless it's a charity, of course. Um, and you always say, hey, look at that guy. He's gave 100K to charity from the goodness of his heart. I hear you say, really, charity? Listen, those who are happiest are those who do the most for others, help others without any reason, and give without the expectation of receiving anything in return. But what about when this is pushed by a false motive, or a deal can be struck? If you give some money to charity, many organizations do provide charity without selflessness, without genuinely expecting anything in return. That is the goodwill of people. Right, Guinness. I'll start this category. Geniuses is very similar to Guinness. Let me explain for the start. It's nearly an anagram, isn't it? Give or take one or two letters. I won't bore you, though, because some of you may feel like, yeah, you know what, this ain't for me. But hey, hang on, man. Hang on a minute, yeah? Hang on a minute. Though with charitable hearts, there have been many geniuses in history. Archimedes, the Egyptians, conquerors, to name but a few. Prime ministers. Let's just stop there. Is that not just greed? They always say, I will serve the nation, but also keep my other close allies happy too. Their allies. Think UK have allies. Their UK's allies are USA. India's is Russia. But UK has links with all of these in history and recently. But let's park that for now. I'm going to talk about football. Euros is coming up. Let's just talk about football geniuses. The managers who are absolute, amazing, have been in the history. To name some of these, I'll go for Sir Alf Ramsey, Sir Matt Busby, Johan Cruyff, Pep Guardiola, um, Klopp, Sir Alex Ferguson, Brian Clough, Mourinho, Ancelotti, Zidane. It's amazing what they have achieved and still will achieve. I mean, how many times do you hear this word genius mentioned by the journalists? Just recently, in the semi-final of the Champions League, Ancelotti was a genius. He came up with a genius move. He brought on Jesselu, who scored twice to put Real through to the final. I'm going to just quote something that Johan Cruyff said about football. Football is a game of mistakes. Whoever makes the fewest mistakes wins. It's like everything in football and life. You need to look, you need to think, you need to move, you need to find space, you need to help others. So, genius, Guinness, or genius, or Guinness is genius. If you have ever had a pint of Guinness, it's a very clever product, renowned all over the world. The only stout with important instructions on how to pour. The more savvy fans would not drink at establishments that don't pour it correctly. To be honest, when it's done correctly, it's so lovely. It goes down nicely and tastes divine. And also, it's a myth. It has your daily intake of iron. It's actually less than 1%. I've never actually complained about a pint of Guinness. I mean, even nowadays, the technology is so good that you get the gas canister cans with the nitrogen widget at the bottom. That creates the same taste, the same Guinness you would get in the pub. I'm just going to go through the steps to pour a Guinness. Step 1, place a beer under the faucet spout. Step 2, pull the spout towards you, and until the glass is 3/4 full, you stop. You wait approximately 1.5 minutes for the beer to surge or cascade. But the Guinness standard is actually 1 minute 32.5 seconds. Top off the pipe by pushing the tap handle away from you. There you go. That's a perfect Guinness. And now I'm going to talk about elephant. Where can I go from here? I hear you say, well, you'd be surprised. A bit like me right now, thinking, oh, okay, I'm ready to make some BS up. Well, RPM, the dishonest swine he is, Rishi Sunak. You seen his ears? The guy is 5'7", has a slim frame. I mean, he's got a slim frame, and compared to Boris and Cameron, the Conservative leaders before him, the prime ministers before him, Rishi is a small man, but he has a secret weapon, just like elephants. His effing ears are huge. Huge! He can easily slip and lie in an interview, and you'll never know. His ears don't go red, like others people's does when they're lying. The heat his body consumes is pushed out from those very large flappy ears. Yeah. In essence, he cools down in pressure situation more faster than anyone else in Parliament. So he has an amazing power in those ears. So there you have it. Unusual species normally found to be extremely powerful and head of its pack, just like Rishi is. Labour, on the other hand, sniggering as they are more angry and stubborn, um, soon to be leaders. Uh, but to be honest, I don't trust any of the groups. I'll vote for none of the above. I think the people should be in charge of our country. The mugs in charge don't give a monkeys about the people living in the UK. It's all greed and winning points to them. In Rishi's case, the USA, he's Biden's puppet at the moment, just like all the other prime ministers have been in the past. They've all been puppets of USA. Of any of the presidents that have been USA, they've been the puppets. I mean, if I was prime minister, I wouldn't go near the US. I would firstly look at the people living there, look at the poverty, look at the high taxes, mortgages, the cost of living. Let's pump money into Ukraine and Israel. Come on, Rishi, wake up. It's the same record for playing in the past 2, 3 decades. It's been going on since Afghanistan, then it was Iran, Syria, now it's Israel. The statements in the newspapers always are we condemn the violent attacks on innocent civilians in Gaza. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Gaza and Israel. Yes. Wow. Then they release this every other day to the news. The governments will release this. The government's press will release this. The other one is UK backs US on ceasefire. Ceasefire? How many fucking times are you going to hear that word? Ceasefire or negotiating a ceasefire? This has been going on for the last 5 months. Clearly Israel has not agreed to this and are going ahead with its mission. They're moving people. In between them searching for these, for Hamas, or whoever they're searching for, they're searching where are these tunnels, and they have these tunnels, and they move the hundreds and thousands of people. They're moving them from one place to another. Then they bomb the places. They give them 2 days notice, and they say, "No, sorry, we're going to have to. We have intelligence that Hamas are in that area." It's madness. It's genocide. They just want to get. They don't care who they get, how many people they kill, how many, people of all ages, babies or whoever it is, they kill in the process of getting to Hamas. They don't care. They're in this rage that they are just going ahead with their mission to get rid of anyone. I'll tell you one thing. This is like anywhere in the world, in any country. The younger generation will not stop. You can get rid of how many people you like. It will carry on and on. The younger generation will remember their parents, their granddads, grandmas, everyone who was killed. They'll remember, get revenge. Who did it? There's nothing stopping them. They're in poverty already. This is a disgusting world. It's a disgusting cause of events that will spiral and go round and round in circles. And who's the cause of this Western world? They're pushing. They're not stopping them. Their words will not stop. USA, UK, Europe, UN, whoever it is, they're not stopping anything. You can do protests. You can protest as much as you want. In London, in New York, wherever you are. Nobody's going to listen. The government will not listen. Anyway, I've gone on a bit of a tangent there. So sorry. Rishi and his crew are all liars, but he's the don of liars. He's the he's the liar of all liars because of his big ear elephants. As I said earlier, the heat is dissipated away from his ears. When asked a difficult question, much like the elephants when in the hot south or Indian forest or even the African safaris, They dissipate so much heat from their bodies. It's so hot in those countries, and their ears just are amazing. Amazing, amazing part of their body. Amazing organ. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next category. Cash. I did say this before. Um, Cash. And I'm going to say that people who have this, um, sorry about the youngsters, but bastards. Is everyone paying their way? Well, the wealthy, they have their own rules. They seem to want, they can park their Mercedes, they can park their Porsches wherever they like. They don't care. The rest of you, medium and upper earners, a lot of this is property or old house, not sold. Um, the rest of us, what I mean is, are medium and upper earners. We've been given this through our parents, maybe. The houses are not sold, they're carried on, they're given to the next person. Um, they still get the rent of these properties as well, the middle earners and the top earners. If you're the lowest of the 5% in the country, then you're not so lucky. Then your meals consist of fried chicken and chips. No breakfast. What this leads to is kids who mess up at school. Eventually, they leave school. Then they get in gangs, then get involved in drugs. Then there's killings. Life of looking behind your shoulder. Who do you trust? Then bang, one day, you're gone. These kids, these families, they're pushed into this from the government. They've got nowhere to go. Okay, from generations, they've not really, their parents and their parents have never cared. They've not bothered to work. They've just relied on benefits from the government. And then the kids are going to do the same thing. They don't care about their kids. They'll go into, the parents are into drugs. Their parents are into alcohol, drinking, uh, smoking. That's all they know. They go and collect their benefit. That's it. They give that to their kids. They get free meals. The kids go to school. If they don't go, they don't care. Um, they want to earn money. They watch TikTok. They watch YouTube videos of gangs. They go into gangs. They go into different. Um, they go into get into gangs. They go into drugs. They dealing. Blah blah blah. There's a lot of it. Especially now, there is less policing in this country. It's gone crazy. Um, People being stabbed in London every week. People being shot. People being kids being shot by mistake. There was a kid the other day shot in a restaurant by mistake. A bullet had hit her. She's in hospital. Amazing. It's crazy, crazy world. But these people are being pushed into that area. Um, I mean, it's the same. Different parties would come in. The elections are coming up on the 4th of July. Yeah, the elections are coming up. Yeah, brilliant. That's fantastic. What will Labour do if they come into power? They come into power. They give everybody benefits. They let everybody in. Doesn't matter if they're illegal immigrants or not. I mean, I'm all for immigration. Bring them in. As long as they can come here and work, they can fill the jobs, they can do the jobs that the English people or the UK people who are working here do not want to do. Conservatives will be known for cutting the UK deficit, raising taxes. It's all down to the other party, um, who will leave nothing in the pot. They'll give everything. Labour even want to go back into the EU again. This madness. Where do you go from there? What I would do is stop some of the aid going to the other countries. I would cut funds going to Ukraine and Israel. So sorry, but I don't think UK should follow what USA does. Obviously, support Jews, support the Israel, but it's a big country invading a small country. This has happened all over the world. Look at India; it's huge. On and off, they have bullied many states over farming costs. Look, in my opinion, is pushing drink and drugs into the youngsters. I'm going to tell you about this little story very, very quickly. Um, they've tried to wipe out the Sikh youth. This is a section of India, northwest of India, Punjab. The Sikhs have been causing problems to the Indian government for a long time. They've been wanting their own. They're the only ones who've asked for and wanted their own independent state, Khalistan. They wanted this because we have tolerated enough. We've been unjustly treated. We've been pushed as we've been cut off. The water supply, the rivers have been cut off. The electricity gets cut off. We're treated like second-class citizens, which we shouldn't be. We should be allowed to live in a democratic country. Is that what they call it? Is that what Modi calls this country, India, where he can go and create genocide anywhere he wants, where he can go and um, pull down a mosque, where he can go and desecrate any religious buildings. Going back to 1984, this has been 40 years. We're commemorating that time when the Golden Temple was attacked. Not only the Golden Temple, 60 other Gurdwaras in Punjab were attacked at the same time. It was planned, meticulously planned by the Indian government at the time. They said there was terrorists in the Golden Temple. No, they're not terrorists. They were not terrorists. They were protecting the Sikh youth. They were protecting our nation. Since then, drugs, drink, tobacco have been pushed into Punjab. That's been put onto the youth so they kill themselves. The ministers there get the votes. They say we'll make it better. No, they're not going to make it better. They're making it worse. One person comes in. Amritpal Singh came in. All he was doing was pulling away the Sikh youth. Watch a video on YouTube. It's called Anandpur Vaspi. It's been viewed by 2.5 million people on YouTube. It's about Amritpal, what he did. He just baptized Sikhs. He showed them the right way. Parents were coming to him crying, sisters coming to him crying, mothers coming to him, saying their sons have been taken away, that their fathers, their husbands have been taken away by drugs. They've been pushed. They've been killed. There's needles. You find needles in every single village in Punjab. That's all down to the government. It happens everywhere. It happens in this is big countries invading the smaller area of their country. India is separated into loads and loads of states. India's too big for the central government are richer. They are billionaires. They're just greedy. They just want their own way. and they want that to be the only way. Okay, there was farmers' protest. And the majority of the Hindu government tried every trick in the book to. Um, that was two couple of years ago during COVID. Uh, it became a theme where they said that Sikhs were targeted and labeling them terrorists. When the farmers' protest had nothing to do with Sikhs' struggle for their own state, the government did not realize the pictures were being beamed all over the world via social media, Instagram, Twitter, um, Facebook. There were ugly scenes of the Sikhs having their turbans removed and then being dragged to police trucks. Some taken away, never to be seen again. Because of the internet and people taking videos on their mobiles, most Sikhs were released without change, without any kind of charge. Hindu government used local gangsters to cause and stir trouble. The police on numerous occasions were handing out, bars and baseball bats, giving the local goons instructions to go and put a stop to the protesters with force. The Hindu government even shut down the internet for 4 days. This is a new tool also used. This is used. This is a tool that was used by the Russians. The farmers' protest was about money. The government tried to force a scheme which would have put all the farmers out of pocket and the bigger companies more stronger and eventually have more power. It was also reversed in the end, but took its toll on the protesters who took to their um, who stuck to their guns and they sat out 2 winters around Delhi. Some had moved their house to the perimeters of Delhi. Modi's government came to their senses and had no choice but to back down and go down to the drawing board. India is a good example of rich getting even richer and poor are very, very poor. But there's no help, no food handouts. The poorest are pushed to one side. They have no future. There's no democracy. The way I see the world is you have the West and the East, USA, UK, Europe, Israel. Then you have the East, India, China, Russia. In the Middle East, you have Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Afghanistan. And in the future, you have Palestine, Sikh's homeland. These countries are neither East. This country is neither East or West. Try not to be involved in the other affairs. If there was no money involved in many of the wars, we would never hear about the war ever happening. Instead, UK and USA get involved. Okay, I'm coming to the end of this. I'm coming to the end of this rant. If there was no money involved in Iran or Iraq, USA, UK wouldn't have been involved. Israel has the backing of the West. It's a ridiculous situation. They are choosing when Israel can invade Hamas. And if Israel can use the armory supplied by USA, in the meanwhile, Palestine is being flattened. Their people, families, generations being wiped away in the face of searching and destroying for Hamas, and they're finding Hamas terrorists. Israel is not listening to anyone, even the allies, as I said before. USA can't stop them. Israel want to completely eliminate Hamas. But this will never happen. It's a tumultuous time for both countries. Jews have businesses in the UK and USA depend upon them in economies. The economies depend on their businesses in their countries. So they back Israel no matter what. Same as the West backing Ukraine in the war against Russia. Ukraine will forever buy fighter jets, tanks, etc. But no British soldiers can go on the ground. How ridiculous is that? Ukraine can cause British army, but not send troops to fight the Russians. I mean, Ukrainians are using British army. They've been trained to use drones. They've been trained to use the missiles. They've been trained to use anti-aircraft missiles. US are sending billions worth of planes and tanks and everything there. In virtually, US are fighting Russia. The pawns are the Ukrainians. It's going to carry on and on. You don't even hear about it now in the news. All you hear about is Israel. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I know it went on for a little while. I've got a bit of a sore throat and I'm going to have my lunch. So I'll see you next time. Oh, and let's hope England get as far as they can in the Euros in Germany. I'm actually off to Germany on the 4th to the 7th of July. It's the quarterfinals. And I'm hoping, my plan is that they get to the quarterfinals, whether they finish second in the group or first. So if they finish second, they will be playing in Stuttgart on the 5th of July. If they finish first and get through the last 16, which I hope they do, the team they've got is amazing, they will be playing in Dusseldorf on the 6th of July. So I hope you enjoyed. I've been trying to do this for a while. And thank you very much.